Shortly after 8 a.m. local time Saturday, scores of Hawaii residents received an emergency cell phone alert with an alarming message: ballistic missile threat inbound to Hawaii. Seek immediate shelter. This is not a drill. The message, reportedly sent by the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency in error, would turn out to be a false alarm, officials said. Nevertheless, it would take 38 minutes for authorities to clear up the mistake with a follow-up alert. The time in between sparked a brief panic in a state where fears of an attack by North Korea have heightened in recent months. Residents and tourists reported seeking shelter, frantically gathering supplies, and calling and texting loved ones to say their goodbyes. Afterward, anger at the false alarm was widespread, and Hawaii officials vowed to get to the bottom of how an error of such magnitude was made. According to images, the initial alert urging people to seek shelter was sent out around 8:07 a.m. Courtney McLaughlin, a wedding coordinator on the island of Kauai, said the alerts quickly turned a serene Saturday morning into mass hysteria on the roads. My boyfriend was like, "Who do we sue for this? We don't just need an apology, we need an explanation. Someone could have had a heart attack," McLaughlin, 29, said. "It took something that's kind of incomprehensible and very quickly made it very personal. All of a sudden going through your mind is this the end of my life? I called my mom, I called my dad, I called my brother and basically said my goodbyes." Honolulu resident Noah Tom was picking up breakfast for a meeting when he heard of the alerts. Thinking he might only have 15 to 20 minutes before a missile strike, Tom considered how his family was split up across 3 locations. He had just dropped off his oldest daughter at the airport, while his 2 younger children were at home. His wife was already at work. "I literally sent out 'I love you' texts to as many family members as I could. It was all kind of surreal at that point," Tom, 48, told the Washington Post. He made the difficult decision of turning the car toward home, where his 2 youngest children were. "I figured it was the largest grouping of my family." At 8:20 a.m., the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency tweeted that there was no missile threat to the state. But it wouldn't be until 8:45 a.m. that an additional cell phone alert was sent to Hawaii residents advising them that the first warning had been a false alarm. "There is no missile threat or danger to the state of Hawaii," the follow-up alert read, according to images of the message. Repeat. False alarm. Tom, the Honolulu father who raced toward his 2 youngest children, said he hadn't reached home when he heard that the alert was a mistake. The adrenaline was super pumping. "I'm usually pretty level-headed about these things. I don't tend to scare easily," Tom said. To his surprise, he pulled over by the side of the road and cried after learning of the mistake. "I just kind of broke down at that point." It all kind of hit me in a wave, what I had just gone through. I was unable to drive for 20 or 30 minutes. It is unclear how or why the initial alert was sent out, and how many people received it. Wireless emergency alerts are usually dispatched during critical emergency situations and are a partnership of the Federal Communications Commission, FEMA, and the wireless industry. Shortly after the false alarm, FCC Chairman Ajit Pai said the commission was launching an investigation into what happened. On Saturday, Deputy White House Press Secretary Lindsay Walters said President Trump had been briefed on the situation. She added that the alert was purely a state exercise. A senior U.S. official told the Post that Trump was at his Florida golf course at Mar-a-Lago when the scare happened and knew soon after that the alerts had been determined false. What was clear was that the erroneous alerts caused a panic among those who read it and expected the worst. On social media, Hawaii residents shared what they had done, or felt helpless to do, in the wake of the first alert. One family was shown in a widely shared video trying to put their children into a storm drain for safety. On CNN, Representative Tulsi Gabbard, Democrat Hawaii, said she received the alert, called Hawaii officials right away and confirmed that it was an inadvertent message that was sent out. "You can only imagine what kicked in," Gabbard told CNN. "This is a real threat facing Hawaii, so people got this message on their phones, and they thought, 15 minutes, we have 15 minutes before me and my family could be dead." Less than 2 months ago, Hawaii reinstated its Cold War era nuclear warning sirens amid growing fears of an attack by North Korea. Tests of the sirens were scheduled to be conducted on the first business day of every month for the foreseeable future. There were no planned tests for the cell phone alerts, similar to those sent out to warn of Dan.